the Prime Minister of India launched the Swachh Bharat mission. The aim of this mission is to create an open defection-free India by Dash.
Clear logic. Your choice 2nd October 2019 is sound and 100% true.
When stray animals look for food in the plastic bags we throw away, they end up swallowing these. Sometimes they die due to this dash.
Nice work. You chose true and it is correct.
Which statement is not true? A. All materials can be reused for making different things at home. B. Plastic toothbrush should be burned after use. C. Blue bens are used for biodegradable waste.
Exactly. Both B and C make sense, and it is right choice.
Safai Karamkaris collect the garbage in trucks and take it to low-lying open area called a dash.
Strong choice. Landfill is the right answer.
The rotting and conversion of some materials into manure is called dash.
Great job. Composting is the accurate answer.
Red worms can survive in very hot and cold surroundings.
You got it? Your choice false is right.
The presence of harmful substances in the air, land, and water, which can have an adverse effect on living beings and on the environment, is dash.
Bravo. Pollution is the answer.
Which one of the following can be added to garbage?
Solid response. All of these is a valid choice.
What separation technique does the picture show?
Correct response. Magnetic separation is the most accurate answer.
What is the correct missing word in the picture?
Perfect. Litter is the correct choice.
Navika was walking with Ashani and Ashani stopped Navika from throwing a banana peel in a blue dustbin. Who pays attention to science class?
Smart move. Ishani is an accurate answer. Dustbin used for collecting biodegradable waste. Valid point. Green is true.
Which type of worms are used for vermicompost?
Nice selection. Red worms is the correct and valid answer.
Your mother is still angry, so she has now making you turn a glass bottle into something useful. What process is she making you do?
Right again. Reuse is a valid answer.
Burning of leaves produce oxygen.
Sharp thinking. False is the right choice.
What type of pollution is this? You chose water pollution, and it is correct.
You must have observed from this activity that some things in the garbage rot. They form dash, which is used for the plants. Excellent choice. Manure is the right answer.
Hamdan was about to throw a banana peel in a green dustbin, but Adrika stopped him. Which kiddo did not study science?
You're right. Rough is the correct answer.
Identify the picture.
Right choice. Result of vermicompost is the best answer.
Zab was throwing the kitchen waste in a blue dustbin, but Anvita stopped him. Which kiddo did not study science? Good job. Your answer works well here.
A dash is a waste disposal facility where wastes are put in the ground and covered each day with a layer soil.
On track. Landfill is the correct answer.
Dash is a nationwide campaign in India for the period 2014 to 2019 that aims to clean up the streets, roads.
Correct. None of these is the right answer.
Akshara was throwing glass bottles in a yellow dustbin, but Yana stopped her. Which kiddo studied science?
Great thinking. Akshara is the right choice.
Waste that is decomposed by the action of microorganism and turn into harmless substance is called.
Well picked. Biodegradable waste is the correct answer. What word means the variety or range of different plant and animal life in a particular habitat?
Well reasoned. Biodiversity is the correct choice.
Degradation is the process by which substances are broken down by tiny organisms called decomposers. Good thinking. True is the right answer. Safai Karamkaris collect the garbage in trucks and take it to low-lying open area called a dash.
Smart pick. Landfill is the correct choice. Converting plant and animal waste, including that from kitchen, into manure is called dash.
Nicely done. Composting is a solid answer.
Which one can be used for making manure? Earthworms, houseflies, eagle crow?
Well done. Earthworms is the right choice. In which of the following the base of plastic or clay is made before dumping garbage? Excellent. Sanitary landfills is a brilliant choice.
When garbage rots, an invisible and unhealthy gas called dash rises into the air.
You're right. Methane is the correct answer.
Waste that rot by the action of decomposers are called non-biodegradable waste.
On track. False is the correct answer.
Waste can be segregated into two types, biodegradable and non-biodegradable. You chose true, and it is correct.
Splash threw his old mouse in a blue dustbin. Is he doing the right thing?
Perfect. No is the correct choice.
Separation of mixtures into their constituencies is often necessary to dash. Nice selection. All of the above is the correct and valid answer. Which of these wastes is causing the most harm to the environment today? Right choice. Plastic bags is the best answer. What is the method of converting biodegradable waste into manure called? Correct response. Composting is the most accurate answer. The rotting and conversion of some materials into manure is called dash. Sharp thinking. Composting is the right choice. Which item should not be given to your ridworms in the compost as food? Great job. Milk is the accurate answer. What is the process that is used to separate grains from stalks called? Good job. Your answer, threshing, works well here. Which of the following materials are typically collected in blue bins?
Excellent. Plastics, metals, and glass is a brilliant choice.
Name the structure in redworms which helps them in grinding the food.
Good thinking. Gizzard is the right answer. Incineration is a good way and eco-friendly method of disposing waste. Clear logic. Your choice false is sound and 100% true. The compost pit shouldn't kept under direct sunlight. Nice work. You chose home and it is correct.
Step 4 of vermicomposting is sprinkle some water but do not pour it.
Exactly. True makes sense and it is right choice.
What is the process of converting some materials into manure called?
Smart pick. Composting is the correct choice.
The process of settling down of particles of a solid in a liquid is.
Well done. Sedimentation is the right choice.
Fruit and vegetable peels are biodegradable.
You got it? Your choice true is right.
Red worms do not have teeth, but they have a structure called dash. Strong choice. Grimards is the right answer. A process in which garbage is burned at very high temperatures is.
Valid point. Incineration is true. The structure present in red worms which help in grinding food is.
Right again. Gizzard is a valid answer.
The grandma said that to make it stronger. What to make stronger?
Bravo. Basket is the answer.
What are landfills in future after getting filled converted into?
Well picked. Botha and C is the correct answer.
Where do Safai Karamkaris take the garbage collected in trucks?
Great thinking. Landfills is the right choice.
A structure which is present in red worms for grinding their food.
Smart move. Gizzard is an accurate answer.
With help of which part of the body do red worms eat their food?
Nicely done. Gizzard is a solid answer.
How many years on average can plastic bags take to decompose? Excellent choice. 10 to 1,000 years is the right answer.
Waste that rots and gets consumed in the soil is called dash. Solid response. Biodegradable waste is a valid choice.
What is the name of composting that is done using red worms?
Correct. Vermicomposting is the right answer. Wastes from which color bin should be used for composting. Well reasoned. Green is the correct choice.
Garbage trucks take the garbage to an open area called dash.
Great job. Landfill is the accurate answer.
How much paper and cardboard waste is produced in a year?
You got it? Your choice 17% is right. Which of the following worms are used in vermicomposting? Right again. Red worms is a valid answer.
After waste from organic materials break down, it is called.
You're right. Compost is the correct answer.
How much cm deep should we dig a pit for vermicomposting? You chose 30 cm, and it is correct.
What country was Swachh Bharat mission introduced in?
Great thinking. India is the right choice.
Red worms eat upon green leaves on trees and make compost.
Solid response. False is a valid choice.
Which of the following cannot be used to make compensate?
Exactly. Broken glass makes sense, and it is right choice.
Which one of the following can be used for making manure?
Nicely done. Earthworms is a solid answer.
In what colored dustbin do we have to put kitchen waste?
Smart move. Green is an accurate answer.
What is the process of turning waste into new materials?
Clear logic. Your choice recycling is sound and 100% true.
Which of the following cannot be converted into compost?
Nice work. You chose steel mug, and it is correct. Which of these are examples of biodegradable materials?
on track. Eggshells, tea leaves is the correct answer.
Which of these is a strong substitute for plastic bags?
Excellent choice. Jute bags is the right answer.
Grandma says that it is just for the strong of dash.
Good thinking. Basket is the right answer.
Where should we throw the waste produced at our house?
Correct. In the dustbin is the right answer.
Plastics give out harmful gases on heating or burning.
Strong choice. True is the right answer.
Fruits and vegetable peels are non-biodegradable waste.
Valid point. False is true.
Out of these, which one is a non-biodegradable waste? Sir.
Perfect. C. Aluminium foil is the correct choice.
We often use a plastic bag to store cooked food items.
Nice selection. True is the correct and valid answer.
Name the worm that is often called a farmer's friend.
Bravo! An earthworm is the answer. The Dash Bhai of India launched the Swachh Bharat mission.
Smart pick. Prime Minister is the correct choice. We generate so much dash in our day-to-day activities. Right choice. Ignis is the best answer. Creating compost with dash is called vermicomposting. Excellent. Red worms is a brilliant choice. The very first garbage was developed in 3000 BC. Correct response. Kronos is the most accurate answer. Which of the following is a non-biodegradable waste?
Well picked. Plastics is the correct answer. Which among the following will not pollute the soil?
Sharp thinking. Bread is the right choice. When biodegradable garbage is rotten, what is formed? Good job. Your answer manure works well here. Pick change that can be reversed from the following. Well reasoned. Melting of ghee is the correct choice.
What type of earthworm is used for vermicomposting?
Well done. Redworm is the right choice. Converting plant and animal into a manure is called.
You chose composting, and it is correct.
List down the material that are considered as waste.
Clear logic. Your choice, all of the above is sound and 100% true. Example of reversible changes is tearing of paper.
Smart pick. False is the correct choice. The solubility dash with increase in temperature. Well done. Increases is the right choice. Which one is not a method of disposal of garbage? Valid point. Cycling is true. Which of the following is an irreversible change?
Nicely done. Burning paper is a solid answer.
What will we call the place we throw the garbage?
Well reasoned. Dump yard is the correct choice.
Which of the following items cannot be recycled? Exactly. Styrofoam makes sense and it is right choice.
What is the odd one out? What is the odd one out?
Great job. Reproduce is the accurate answer.
What kind of wastes are filled in a compost pit?
Good thinking. Biodegradable is the right answer.
After how much weeks is the vermicompost ready?
Smart move. 3-4 weeks is an accurate answer. Which of the following is thrown in a green bin? Correct. Peels of orange is the right answer.
Which of the following is example of solid waste?
Right again. Coca-Cola dog is a valid answer.
Materials that can be recycled are collected in.
Perfect. Blue bins is the correct choice.
Which of the following the full form of the RA?
Great thinking. Reuse, recycle, reduce is the right choice.
Drains get chalked because of dash on thrown by us.
You're right. Plastic is the correct answer.
Large open areas used for solid waste disposal.
Excellent. Open dumps is a brilliant choice.
What is the method called when we burn garbage?
Nice work. You chose incinerating and it is correct.
Drains get choked due to plastics thrown by us.
Correct response. True is the most accurate answer. Plastic can be recycled to get useful products. Strong choice. True is the right answer.
What are the things that Nanu buy for friends?
On track. Hat is the correct answer. How many types of landfills are there in India? You got it? Your choice 59 constructed landfills is right.
We are running out of land to make landfills.
Bravo. True is the answer.
What should not be used as food for redworms?
Excellent choice. Meat and milk preparations is the right answer.
When was the Swachh Bharat mission launched?
Nice selection. 2 October 2019 is the correct and valid answer.
What do we have to throw in a yellow dustbin?
Right choice. Paper and glass bottles is the best answer.
Vermicomposting is done with the help of Dash.
Solid response. Redworms is a valid choice.
What is the problem with single-use plastic?
Good job. Your answer, it creates unnecessary waste, works well here.
Which of the following is a chemical change?
Sharp thinking. Making cheese from milk is the right choice.
The garbage contains which of the following?
Well picked. All of these is the correct answer. Blue dustbin is used for biodegradable waste.
Good job. Your answer false works well here.
Diseases like cholera, typhoid are caused by. Excellent choice. Contaminated water is the right answer.
What are solid waste commonly known as dash? Good thinking. Garbage is the right answer.
Which of the following segregation of waste?
Excellent. Both A and B is a brilliant choice.
Which of these are not one of the 3 R's?
Bravo. Refuse is the answer.
Red dustbin is used for which type of waste?
On track. E-waste is the correct answer.
How is waste handled and disposed in India?
Perfect. In sanitary landfills is the correct choice.
What are the number of colors of dustbins?
You chose 3. And it is correct.
When plastic waste is burned, what is emitted?
Clear logic. Your choice poisonous gases is sound and 100% true.
What should we do with the old newspaper?
Smart pick. Throw in recycle bin is the correct choice.
Waste which remains unchanged is known as.
Correct response. Non-biodegradable is the most accurate answer.
Avoid adding eggshells.
Strong choice. False is the right answer.
Who takes out the garbage from the bins?
Nice work. You chose cleaning work and it is correct. How many landfill sites are there in Yi?
Right choice. 6 is the best answer. Which one can be used for making manure? Well done. Earthworms is the right choice. Where does the waste will go to at last?
Nice selection. Landfill is the correct and valid answer.
Waste can be segregated into 3 types.
Great job. False is the accurate answer.
Solid waste is commonly called garbage.
Nicely done. True is a solid answer.
Garbage heaps of dried leaves should be.
You got it? Your choice converted into useful compost is right.
Which of the following is eco-friendly?
Correct. Paper is the right answer.
Is vaporization and reversible changes? Right again. True is a valid answer. Pollution can result to climate change.
Well picked. True is the correct answer.
Boiling egg is an irreversible changes.
You're right. True is the correct answer.
What are solid wastes commonly called?
Sharp thinking. Garbage is the right choice.
Municipal solid waste is also called. Valid point. Garbage is true. Example of municipal solid waste is?
Exactly. Batteries make sense, and it is right choice.
Glass, metal are biodegradable waste. Great thinking. False is the right choice.
What do redworms need around them?
Smart move. Moisture is an accurate answer.
What did Shyam made up of old charts?
Well reasoned. Files is the correct choice.
Plastic objects should not be. Solid response. Both NB is a valid choice.
Which of these cannot be recycled? You chose plastic, and it is correct. The thirds of the waste management are sharp thinking. All of these is the right choice. Green bins are for recyclable waste. Great job. False is the accurate answer.
What does the above picture depict?
Nice work. You chose reduce, reuse, recycle, and it is correct.
Which of following is liquid waste?
Smart pick. Sewage is the correct choice. What color does a recycle bin use?
You're right. Blue is the correct answer.
Using waste to make new product is.
Correct response. Recycle is the most accurate answer. Why should we not burn dry leaves? Excellent choice. It pollutes the atmosphere is the right answer. What is safe to give to redworms? Good job. Your answer vegetables works well here.
Plastics give out harmful gases on.
Bravo. Burning is the answer.
Shopkeeper gave him a dash bag.
Perfect.
Cloth bag is the correct choice.
Non-biodegradable objects must be.
Great thinking. All of these is the right choice.
Recycling things are collected in. Right again? Blue bins is a valid answer. The dash component is spread out. Excellent. Non-useful is a brilliant choice.
What do redworms not survive in? On track. Both A and B is the correct answer. What we have to do with plastic?
Solid response. Recycle is a valid choice.
The plastic should be thrown in. Nicely done. Blue bin is a solid answer. How is plastic disposed in ye? Well reasoned. Landfills is the correct choice. What do sanitation workers do?
Right choice. Take away our trash is the best answer.
We need to generate dash waste.
Well done. Less is the right choice.
Parks are built over landfills.
Smart move. True is an accurate answer.
What is red dustbin used for?
Nice selection. E-waste is the correct and valid answer.
Is compost useful for plants?
Well picked. Yes is the correct answer.
Waste is usually produced at.
Good thinking. All of the above is the right answer.
Where are the wastes dumped?
Clear logic. Your choice at the landfills is sound and 100% true.
Green bins are used for dash.
You got it. Your choice none of the above is right. Thermoplastic can be molded.
Valid point. True is true.
Where they will build parks. Strong choice. In landfill areas is the right answer. What is solid waste called?
Exactly. Garbage makes sense and it is right choice.
Rotting is carried out by.
Correct. Microbes is the right answer.
Seawater is a mixture of.
Clear logic. Your choice water and several salts is sound and 100% true.
Choose the correct option.
Well done. VRMMICOMUMPIOSTA ING is the right choice.
Recycling helps to reduce. Well reasoned. All of the above is the correct choice.
Paper is recycled to get.
Good thinking. Useful products is the right answer.
Non-biodegradable waste.
Good job. Your answer plastic works well here.
Paper can be recycled.
Correct response. True is the most accurate answer.
Green bin is meant for.
Sharp thinking. Biodegradable waste is the right choice. Banana peel is a dash. Nice work. You chose biodegradable waste, and it is correct.
We should dash glass.
Solid response. Recycle is a valid choice.
Polythene is not dash.
Perfect. Biodegradable is the correct choice.
Pure water boils at.
Great job. 100 UC is the accurate answer.
What are the thurs?
Nice selection. Reduce, reuse, recycle is the correct and valid answer. Plastic is the dash. You chose non-biodegradable waste, and it is correct.
Garbage means valid point. All of these is true.
Through means
You're right. Reduce, reuse and recycle is the correct answer. Through means exactly. All of these make sense and it is right choice.
How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format?
You got it? Your choice. Contact Narayan Changda on Facebook. Is right